Hey guys, I thought I would come back. The video was a little short, so I thought I would come back again today and show you a little bit more about this worm, and maybe we can dig through some of it and just see what we can get. I want to get a good close up on it. Maybe you guys can kind of help me identify what type of worm this is. I'm pretty sure that this worm is. Was I was thinking originally that it was from the endogeeic group, which uh, that's what the Alabama jumper is from. But I'm thinking it is from the epigeic group, which is what composting worms are too. Epigeic is they're surface dwellers. To kind of help you remember the epigeic group, it's kind of like epidermis on top of the skin. It's surface. So it is it is a big worm. The thing that makes me think that it's an epigeic is because if we look down here at this, if we look down here where they are and all this leaf litter, um, you got a lot of fluff right here on your leaves. And then I come down there and I'm almost just above an inch. And the castings itself is about an inch, um, almost 3/4. It just depends on what area you are here. So that's what kind of makes me think that it is a leaf litter type of worm, which there's several different species. There's over there's thousands, and we still yet have we still need to identify them. There's so many out there, but anyway, come over here, and here's one right now. Whoops, and it's starting to slime on me now, but see if you can get a good look there. It's brown at its anterior end, and then grayish at its posterior end. It does flatten its tail out at the end, um, which they can kind of use those for a spoon to dig. But I wouldn't completely rule it out that it is some type of endogeeic species. But that there. But the epigeic leaf litter kind can be reddish brown to reddish. So, I mean, here's the scenario though. In this whole alleyway, um, this is a foreclosure home, like I said, and we know that it's been here at least over the winter sitting, and we've got all these leaves here, and they've been untouched, completely unadulterated, and everything's been sitting here just decaying. So everything is undisturbed, like I said, and now we have tons of worms. I'm sure that some have migrated in here, and uh, they laid their cocoons plenty of time between at least the beginning of the year of 2014 to July. So that's plenty of time for a cocoon to hatch, and then you have a big worm like this. So, not so sure yet, but on the species. But what I really want to do is, and I'll post some of these pictures up of one. But what I want to do is, I'm going to take a bunch of these home with me, and I'm going to scoop all this up and put it in a bin and take it home and just see what happens. I'm going to put it in a. I'm going to put it in. I think I'll put it in my worm in. I've got a worm in at home, and we'll just kind of see what happens. Not going to feed it anything, but what it really likes, that's leaf litter, which can be pretty much anything as far as high carbon material. And like if it's an Alabama jumper, a lot of times those lateral burrowing worms don't care so much for your nitrogen source materials. They like the carbon source materials. Um, but I mean, you can add a little bit here and there, but they just tend to go for the carbon. And you can see that they're nice and fat, so they don't really need any of the nitrogen. And I know some will want to debate about the NPK ratios. And me personally, I don't put much stock in NPK ratios. We're not dealing with chemical fertilizers, um, where all that is so touchy, but they're just microbes, and that's what plants eat. Plants eat microbes, and they'll eat it all day long. So if you have a low NPK ratio, that plant's going to eat that low NPK ratio all day long. So that's kind of my theory on that. So come over here and we'll dig up some of these worms. Here's a smaller baby one. Look at that. That's what kind of makes me. I mean, Alabama jumpers will do that, but you know, there's a lot of worms that will do that, and they'll jump around and be real energetic like that. Let's see what we got over here. A lot of this is filled with ants too, so I got to be careful. Look at that. Look at this guy. I can't hang on to him. He's just she. So I wouldn't doubt it if this whole area will get just as much as we got yesterday. When I'm running a bunch of roots. Here's another one. Here's some more. Look at that. This one is, well, I was going to say it's gray on the bottom and it's brown on top. But I would say it's probably still the same species. It might just be at a different stage. Let's see if we can get any cocoons in here. Well, I don't want to make this video real long, so we're going to continue to go through here and collect these and then bring them home and see what we can get to happen. So I hope this gives you ideas. If you have a driveway or sidewalk, whatever, you can partition it off and throw a bunch of leaves in there, maybe some other carbon sources, and just let it sit, maybe fall and over the winter and the spring, and just see what starts to come in. And you may have something like this. So I just really hope this gives you guys some ideas. And I mean, this is something that I stumbled on. I just wrote a page titled "How to Start a Worm Farm on a Shoestring Budget." And a lot of times, you know, we follow in the worm farming community, we follow the Field of Dreams method. And if you build it like a compost pile, they will come. You're going to get all kinds of worms, and you're going to get some great worm castings. You just never know what you're going to get, though. So as far as a composting worm, you can try to identify your worms that come to your field of dreams, your pile of dreams, and then try to find a composting worm in that. So, but this is a great way if you're looking for a big fat worm and maybe for raising for fishing or whatever. So that's it. There's so much going in my mind, but just to make the video short and not too boring, that's all I have for now. So I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Post it down in the thread underneath, and I'll see you next video.